Street Fighter fans, this collection is for you. Game Beauty has sent me out some products from their Street Fighter 6 collection and we're going to test them out. So if you want to learn how to create this look here and if I think the items are worth your money or if they're just another collectible item, keep on watching. Alright, we're going to start with the eyes first. I've just gone ahead and prepped my base with the P. Louise base in the shade Room 2. So the collection comes with the Prismatic Pugilist makeup palette. And as you can see here, there is a stunning array of rainbow colours with some shimmers, some mattes, some fun neon shades. And I want to try and use as many shades as possible. So I'm going to try and do a rainbow look today. On a Sigma E42 brush, I'm picking up the shade Taking Aim. And I'm just going to run that through my crease. That is a very pigmented eyeshadow. It's very buttery as well. There is quite a lot of fallout in the pan though, so just be mindful of that. That shade blended beautifully. I just really made sure to pack it on there because it is one of the darkest colours, but so far so good. Right, this is where my colour theory is really going to get tested. On a Morphe JH40 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade The Plunderer, and I'm going to blend that into the outer edge of that blue. It's going to kind of mix together and make a purpley colour, which is what we want. So I'm just taking my time working that colour around. I'm going to dip into the shade Viator on a Morphe M506, and I'm going to start blending the very edge of that red shade out. I'm pretty much just covering that red shade just to help with the blend. This looks not great, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit scared. Next, on a Sigma E27 brush, I'm going to take Spirit of the Flame, and I'm just going to use that to blend the very edge of the orange out, just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to take a Morphe M433 brush and the shade All Right, and I'm using that to lightly feather that into my base as our transition shade. Just to help blend between the blue and the orange, I'm going to take some of the shade Arancino on a Sigma E33 brush, and I'm just placing that where that dark blue shade meets those warm orange shades just to help blend it all seamlessly. I have to say, I am super impressed with how these eyeshadows blend together. I mean, I've literally managed to blend blue into orange and it looks really nice, so I'm very pleased. Rightio, so I'm going to do a half cut crease and then we can pop some shimmer shades on the lid. So I've just cut the crease and the blend is blending, so I'm going to test out some of these shimmer shades next. So they sent me a few shades of the Chromatic Contender Chameleon eyeshadows. I've got the shade 06 DJ, 05 Dalsum, and 03 Guel. Apologies if I botched those. Clearly I have not played Street Fighter 6, so I really wanted to incorporate this blue one here. I think it would look really pretty on the outer edge, so let's test this out. I'm just going to pick it up on my finger. Look at that, that is beautiful. I'm just going to place that right on the outer edge. Wow, look at that, it literally looks like a wet eyeshadow. That's gorgeous. It has a fun, like, bluey purple reflect. That's so cool, I love that. Just to blend that edge, I'm just taking some of the shade Taking Aim and just tapping that in, just so we have a nice blend from the matte eyeshadows to that shimmer. I just want to wear that like all over the lid, that's so stunning. Okay, this eyeshadow next had caught my eye the moment I opened the palette. I'm picking up the shade Walk with Grace on my finger. It's this really cool like lilac colour. I'm just going to tap that on next to that blue. That's also so pretty, and I want to say that the Chameleon eyeshadows and the shimmer shades in the palette have the same formula. They're just as shiny, which is really fun. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. And to get that product nice and close to the edge of the cut crease, I'm just going to pick it up on a Morphe M213 brush. And I'm just placing that right at the edge of the cut crease just to keep that edge nice and crisp. Alright, on my finger, I'm going to take some of the shade Pancration. I'm just going to place that half onto that purple shade and half off. All of the shimmer shades are so pretty. They're just so buttery. I'm a big fan of the formula. Okay, be careful if you use that shade. It stains so bad. It stained my fingernail, so be mindful of that because you'll probably be left with it for a few hours after you take it off. And lucky last, in the inner corner, I'm just going to pop some of the shade Mr. Top Player. And to get nice and close to the cut crease line, I'm just taking that shade on the Morphe M213 brush again. I actually can't resist and I want to pop a little bit of a green shimmer on that outer corner. I'm just taking some of the shade Kumadori and I'm just going to tap it right on that outer edge. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's what it needed. Oh, that's stunning. It looked so pretty in the pan and I was like, I need it on my face. How gorgeous. I've partially put on my base makeup, but I've decided I actually want to finish off the eyes before we test out some of the other products, so I'm gonna do that. On that Sigma E42 brush, I'm just taking some more of the shade Taking Aim, and I'm just blending that halfway under my lower lash line. On a Morphe JH35, I'm taking the shade Overtrip and blending that out. On a Morphe JH38 brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade Zilra Zilra, and I'm just going to pop that next to that blue eyeshadow. On a Morphe M562 brush, I'm going to take the shade Not a Little Girl, and I'm just going to use that to blend out those blue shades one final time. And finally, on a Sigma E36, I'm going to take the shade All Right and blend that green out. I'm just going to pop some mascara and lashes on, and then I'll be back to test out some of the face products. So I've got a couple of the blushes sent to me. I've got the shade Ken and the shade Lily. Ken is very red and Lily is more of like a pinky red, so I think I'm going to go in with the shade Lily today. So I'm just going to pop some of this on my cheek. This is a cream product. I'm going to do a bit on my nose and my chin as well. And I'm just going to blend that out using an angled brush. Oh no. These are not moving, I'm scared. Okay, it's definitely a product that I would put on the brush first and tap into the skin. Just because it's kind of leaving... Oh no, okay. This is not great. Where I've powdered, it is leaving a very harsh line. So I can safely say that these do not like powder. However, on the places where I haven't powdered, like my chin and my nose, they're really pretty. So on the skin, I think this is really pretty. I love the shade, but as you can see, this area here, I've placed a little bit of my face powder and it's kind of separated, like it doesn't want to go over the powder. So don't mix them with powder. So definitely don't partially set your base, because the areas where there's no powder, I mean, it looks beautiful. That's the only downside. Sometimes you can get away with cream products going over a powder, but not these ones. Right, next up to try, I've got one of the highlighters. This is the shade Menon. It is a really pretty pink color, so I'm excited to try this. Instead of putting it directly on my face, I'm actually just going to pick some of it up on a brush, and I'm going to apply it to my Cupid's bow, my chin. Hello. Okay, maybe I can get away with like drawing it on. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's very pink. You kind of have to like really scrape it off. I'm just gonna do some on my nose. Once it's on, it's really pretty. I just don't want to... Oh, whoa. What? It smells like mangoes. It smells like mangoes. That's so... It's really nice. Anyway, as I was saying, you could probably definitely like draw this on the face, but I'm just apprehensive too because of what happened with the blush. That smell is actually so good. I'm just gonna like start working it into the cheek. Okay, that's really pretty. It looks really nice layered with the blush. It's quite pigmented for a highlighter. I'm not even kidding. If I wasn't fake tanned, it probably would actually be too dark for me because it is quite pink. I can't get over the smell. Oh my god. Okay, it's giving... You can really see the glow where the sun's coming in on that side. It's giving a really nice glow. The other shade in the collection is blue, which I think would have worked really well, but I mean, I'm not mad at this. I like it. It's cute. Okay, my viewfinder deceives me. The blush has lifted off my makeup. I did draw it directly onto my face, so that could be my fault. And then where I've gone and popped that highlighter over top of that powdered area, it's taken my makeup off. So it does, however, look really nice on the areas where I didn't powder. But yeah, it definitely does not mix well with powder. Ah, that's such a shame. I've just gone and tapped a little bit of concealer over where the blush took it off my chin. I'm just going to use the residue on my brush. It kind of just keeps lifting it. No! Okay, yeah, not really a fan of the blush just because, like, this is not powdered. There's no powder on this. It just doesn't want to work. The blush, I don't know whether it doesn't like something I've got on my base, but it hasn't really done it over here. Like, this side of my face hasn't lifted, but whatever's on my chin, it just... She doesn't like it. So I've just lightly powdered over my face, and there's some lip products that we are going to try next. So I've been sent 3 of the lip shades. We've got the shade E Honda, the shade Kimberly, and the shade Jury. Now I'm not going to lie, like these are all like really bright colours. I'm really kind of leaning towards maybe a bit of Kimberly or E Honda. I don't really know. I think I want to do more of like a blotted lip. So let's pop some liner on. So I've just popped on this lip pencil in the shade Amber from XO Beauty. And I think I'm going to take some of the shade E Honda. And I'm just going to blot that kind of like in the very inner portion. I'm gonna put that all over my teeth. I'm just gonna put some of that shade just like in the very inner portion of my lip. Okay, that's very pigmented. Pretty colors, I do like that. It's a little bit too much with the eyes though, so I'm gonna tone it down. Okay, I toned it down to this really pretty peach color with the P. Louise Barely There lipstick, and I just popped some MCO Beauty Golden Glow lip oil on top. I think that's stunning. It's not taking away from the eyes. I think the colors are really fun. Like, don't get me wrong, the bright colors are so cool, but just not with this eye look. Now that I have tested out the products, I have some thoughts. The eyeshadow palette. Love, love, love. I seriously love the colors. The formulas are beautiful. The shimmer shades are probably my favorite. They're just so creamy, so blendable, so sparkly. I love them. I will just add too with the eyeshadow palette, I do wish that there was either a black, a white, or like a nudie transition color, just so you can get a little bit more creative with mixing some of the shades. But other than that, the color story is really fun. The individual Contender Chameleon shadows, I think these are gorgeous as well. They have that same pretty shimmery, buttery formula that's in the eyeshadow palette. So I definitely also think that these are really gorgeous and great products. The elephant in the room. The blush and the highlighter, I'm not sure how to feel. I think the colours of the blush are gorgeous. I do love how it applied on the areas that didn't have powder on them. However, for some reason, it just didn't want to stay put on my chin. Now, that could be a base product I have used, so I will have to test them again. But first impressions, I don't love the formula and how it interacted with my makeup. I'm a little bit disappointed because this was really pretty in photos and I really wanted to like this, but I am not the biggest fan of the highlighter. Whether I put it on a brush or straight onto my face, it just kind of lifted my makeup off. I popped some above my Cupid's bow on an unset base and it has lifted my foundation off. Same with a bit on the chin, and it's gone a little bit patchy where I did place it over some powdered foundation. Now it is a cream product, so you're most likely not going to use it over a powdered foundation, but if you do like putting creams over powders, I would not recommend doing that with this product. The color is really pretty, and I mean, it does give a lovely glow, but yeah, I just don't know if it was something that I used. It just didn't work. And lastly, we've got the lip products. I actually really like these. The formula of these is really creamy. The colors were really pretty. I mean, if you want something bold and vibrant, they've absolutely nailed that. It's beautiful. I do think the brights are really fun, and if you're looking for a bright lipstick, I definitely think these would be great. And I do love how you can totally tone them down by mixing them with other nude lip products. So all in all, this was a little bit of a roller coaster. I was not expecting to not love some of the products. I really do try my best to love every single product that I test. It's actually quite unusual for me not to like something. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I think the eye look came out amazing, and my favorite products have to be the eyeshadows. I mean, they're just beautiful and they blended so lovely. So well done, Game Beauty, on that front. I mean, your eyeshadows are insane. I'll definitely have to give the blush and the highlighter another go, but I just want to say a massive thank you to Game Beauty for sending me out parts of this collection to try. And hey, who knows, the second time around I might have a better experience with the blush and the highlighter. Well, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this look down below, and are you going to pick up the collection? If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps push my channel out to new potential viewers, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications if you never want to miss a video from me. If you want to check out any other looks that I don't create here, check out my Instagram at MakeupWithAlix. All my social media links are linked down below. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!